Hello, I'm Laura, the Library Lady, and welcome to my first summer 2022 episode. I'm out here on my front porch. It's about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's nice and muggy, but it's a beautiful day. So today is all about board books, and I would like to thank the American Library Association, Library Reads, and the publishing houses of Applewood Books and also Gibbs Books for this episode. So today we're going to talk about board books. And board books are mainly for children birth through about 3 years old. And let me show you my first board book. This is by Gibbs, and it's a language book, and it's a board book because it's nice and sturdy. So little ones between birth and about 2 love to put things in their mouths. So this book can withstand some nibbling. You can get them at your local bookstore, the Dollar Tree. You can borrow them from the library, but I would definitely disinfect them and make them safe for your children. Now, you cannot put them in water because that will destroy the board books, but they're a lot more sturdy, so little ones can't bend or tear the pages. 3 years old is probably the oldest I would go. And so parents and kids, and this is mainly for parents because little ones can't really read. But this is one of our most famous plays and musicals, Les Miserables. And it's done in a board book, and it's very unique. It's by Gibbs. I want to thank Gibbs Publishing House for this book. It was published originally some time ago. There's my mail carrier. And it's all about this great musical. And it's done in French and English, which is really great, especially for young people who are bilingual or multilingual. So, and it can be used with older children as well to teach vocabulary. So it opens up, and each page has a picture, and it has English first, man, and then it has it in French, and it has a one-liner. My name is Jean Valjean. And I only know that because I watched, the musical or the TV movie. And so each page features a character with the English and French, and then an object, candlesticks, the girl, what happened to her. She was forced to sweep the rooms. It's a very sad story. And then he comes in, and so this is a really great book. And at the back, it has the vocabulary in English and French. Okay, and it was published in 2016. So thank you so much, Gibbs Books. So they may have a series, so you may want to check them out. And it's a series because it says Little Master Hugo. That's a real clue that this is a series. And then down here it says Baby Lit Book. So these are for our very young readers, and it's very important to read to young children early so they understand the concepts and language, and kids just gobble this stuff up. So the next set of books are a series from one publisher, Applewood, and I'm very thankful for Applewood for donating these books to me so I can share with you. These were also released in 2016, but they still may be available. And I want to just point out how great these are. And kids love series because it's routine, it provides stability. And I want to start out with this one, which is a little different from all the others, but it is an Applewood. And this was actually published in 2019, where the others were published in 2017. So these are a bit dated, but hey, a good book is a good book. So I'm doing a shout out. And I love this one because it says New Orleans, and it goes Dreaming of New Orleans, Counting Down Around Town. So this book has a lot of things I like. Number one, it has beautiful colors and details. I've been to New Orleans a couple of times, and it does feature human beings. Other ones feature animals, which is totally cool because, I like animals. And when you open up this book, it gives you the pictures, it kind of does a preview, and it's a counting book. So, and it uses rhyming. So it incorporates math and incorporates rhyming, which kids really love because it gives it kind of a flow. And we have pictures, and you can talk about each one of these things before you even talk about the book. So it kind of gives the children a preview, and kids love touching. And it's counting down, so it's counting backwards from 10 to 1. And look at these beautiful pictures, and I love the purple, and that's because it's all about Mardi Gras. But I lived in Alabama. Mardi Gras started in Mobile. So this one says fantastic floats. So you're going to see alliteration here with both words starting with an F, and this is all kind of things that you can talk about, and sometimes floats really freak kids out, so it's a good thing to talk about. All right, then it counts down to 9, and it says marching musician. So once again, it's not rhyming right here, but it is using the M words, marching, and you guys can talk about what marching is and what is a musician. So you can see that. And then, of course, it's got perching pelicans, which we also have in Mobile, Alabama, the home and originator of Mardi Gras, not New Orleans. And you can talk about the birds and their long beaks and that they dive down and catch fish and all of that. So these are things that when you read a book to children, you can elaborate, and the pictures really help. And then what is 7? Basking alligators. So basking alligators kind of breaks the pattern. So I'm surprised they didn't come up with another word that started with a B, like bathing. No, not bathing, but they said basking. So, but they decided to use that. And alligators are prevalent, so please be careful. And the next one is stately columns. So they had a pattern, and they're breaking that pattern. But, and that's okay. They could have said cool columns. I don't know. But hey, no disrespect here. This is not easy. And then they have busy shrimpers, because shrimp, and then they have shimmering light lamps. So they did break that pattern. But you can talk to your kids about all of this stuff. And this one says warm baguettes. So we have those in Mobile too, and that's French. A French pastry with sugary dough. And they talk about the streetcars and the boat. So this is a really cool book, and what I like about it the most at the end is that it has a map and it shows all those things. So see how the pictures reinforce and your numbers are here again? So you can definitely review with your child. And am I expecting a child K through, birth through 2nd grade, or birth through 3 years old to understand a map? No, but if you are talking about, oh, this is this road, this is, whatever you say, your kid's going to eat it up. So this is a great book. I like it a lot. So the other books follow a more traditional pattern, and I picked places, and I want to thank the publisher that let me pick what I wanted when I was at American Library Association. So these books all star animals, which is really cool because kids love animals. And they're animals that live in these different habitats, I hope. So we have this one, Hello Charleston, and I've been to Charleston, and it shows turtles, and it features different aspects of Charleston, South Carolina. And this has a lot more words, but the same things apply. When you read this to your children, spend time looking at the pictures, and what's so important is that your child will really enjoy spending time with you, and it's amazing how much they will retain. So you may think, oh, my child's just 2, they're not going to understand. If you spend time with them, they will. So this is Hello Charleston, and this is another series, Hello Seattle. I love Seattle as well. It has the tower there. Once again, it's featuring animals that are from part of that area, and you can see waterways, and a lot of children who don't live near water don't have this experience. So, and then there's this beautiful skyline, and then we have the buildings and how we get around, and then we have the shoreline, and it looks like a zoo. Oh, the Native Americans, the historical part. And I've actually been to this public market center. It's a really iconic place in Seattle. And then just doing things together. And this is really cool. So that's Seattle. Portland. And interesting things have happened over the last few years in these cities when it comes to race relations. But once again, we're featuring animals. It looks like a parent and a child. It seems to be the consistency. You know, it's just two people, or should I say two animals. And once again, we see them on bikes, so that shows activity. There's water, a bridge. And in Portland, they have a Chinese garden and a, this is the Japanese garden, and they have also a Chinese garden. And they're two different gardens, even though they use some of the same things like water and rocks. And so we get to see Portland, which is on the West Coast, riding a train. Just different features of Portland. Cafe. And I think there's this big bookstore, I believe it's in Portland, Powell Bookstore, but I could be getting it mixed up with Seattle. But I think it's in Portland. But this is a great book. So this one is not a city, but an area, and it's in the Smoky Mountains, which I believe is in Tennessee. Once again, you see the two animals, you see the beautiful pictures, and once again, you're getting all these pictures, things that the children can touch and talk about, and it increases their vocabulary, which is so important. You know, this is a grass, this is a building. You know, you can definitely read the text and expound upon that. Just beautiful, beautiful illustrations that are just full of things for you to talk about. This is a fox, this is a squirrel. We definitely see squirrels everywhere. So that's something that keeps us in common, even though I've seen a fox over where I live. And having a picnic, anyone can have a picnic anywhere. Once again, we have Native American culture featured, which is so important to have culture featured. And then we have all kinds of animals, and children love animals, and so fauna as well. I saw a deer walking down the street the other day, which is so weird. But hey, they're everywhere. And camping out at night. So once again, you have the beautiful colors. Then we have Hello Desert. So this is in one specific state. This is a landmass. What is a desert versus a prairie versus a city versus other landforms. And of course we have who lives out in the desert. Wonderful pictures again. And of course we've got the two, I think maybe they're lizards, so I'm not quite sure. And I think all of these are by the same person, Martha Day Zuck. And once again, just beautiful pictures and people touring the area. Just beautiful. And talking about the cactus, how are these plants different than the plants in the other books? We have probably, that's an eagle, I'm not reading the text, but this reminds me of Utah. But at the end of the book, is this the one? No, they're camping out. But there's one book that has a map of all the states. I missed it. So I like this because this is a map and it shows you the area. And you can really talk to your child. You're like, hey, my child's too young. They can eat it up. So especially if you're talking about it. And then when I think of this one, Hello Grand Canyon, this covers 7 states, the Grand Canyon does. But this is a place I wanted to visit, and I didn't get to visit the Grand Canyon until I was well into my adulthood. So some of the same features, we have the different animals, we have all this beautiful stuff, whitewater rafting, all the things, fishing, riding on mules, riding in a tour bus, and children love animals, buffalo or bison, elk. These animals are huge, eagles, osprey, mountain lion, ram, all kinds of things. One of my favorite places, and I've been here twice, and I'm not huge as a country music fan, but I love Nashville, Tennessee. Talking about music, trolley rides, and we have the raccoons that are featured, art, different things to do, the Grand Ole Opry, all kind of going to the zoo, talking about different types of animals. All these books feature things that kids like, music, the downtown area, and it ends at night. So it's a full day, it looks like. And one of my other favorite cities is Boston. And this is the last book. I didn't mean for this to be so long, but look, hello, Boston. And I have a friend that's in Boston today helping her daughter. And I love Boston because getting around Boston is so easy on public transit. We have 2 ducks. And I actually did, this was when I was in Boston. Just great things for you guys to read, iconic places. So I would definitely recommend these board books. They're really, really fun. It says, come journey to Boston. There's much to explore. Each time that you visit, you'll learn something more. So definitely, this is, and they also talk about, this one also has other books that they recommend. So on the back, there's other books. Now, are these books inviting you to visit their city? Well, of course they are. So whether you decide to visit these cities, and all these places I've actually been, I've been to France, but it was only in the airport on my way to Italy. So I've been to all of these places. I really love all these places, but whether you go or not, there's so much to enjoy even with the book. So parents, I really encourage you to read board books with your young children. And if you say to me, where do I get board books? Definitely check them out at your public library, but I would disinfect them because little ones like to put things in their mouths. And even get them from, even no matter where I got them, I would disinfect books, especially in the day of COVID. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. But I have to be really honest with you, parents. It doesn't matter what you read, unless it's profane or just totally violent. Just sitting down and reading a newspaper article that's not too horrendous, because your little one just wants to be with you. So just reading what's on what you use, like ketchup, mustard, so they know what that is and they're building that vocabulary and they're learning to read, words, environmental print. So it really doesn't matter what you read as long as you're engaging with your kids. Now, I would highly recommend reading books that are meant for children, but if for any reason you don't have easy access to that, look around and see what you have in your house that would be appropriate for young children, because the number one thing your children want to do is be with you. And if you're communicating and you're reading and you're pointing out colors and numbers and words, that helps your child and that prepares your child for school, because you want your child to be reading independently no later than 3rd grade. So we come in with kindergarten, starting to teach your children to read. So if they know their letters and their numbers before they get to school, that puts them at a great advantage. And you sitting and reading with them helps them so much, because it helps them to know what to expect. So when a teacher wants to read or a librarian wants to read in school, your child knows what that means, and they know how to do that. So this is Laura, the library lady, and I would like to thank Gibbs Books, and I would like to thank Applewood Books and Library Reads and the American Library Association for these great books. All right, happy reading. Take care. Bye.